What is going on, everyone? Welcome back into the Bears Den, an NFL podcast with the Chicago Bears First Focus. I'm your host, Alex. We're here. We're back. It's been a little bit. Just got back from my trip to Japan and had a fantastic time. Got home the day after it's the draft, so worked out fantastically. Got to see the Bears hopefully get better and figured I'd come on here and talk a little bit about the draft picks, what I think, and how I think the draft went overall for the Bears. And so, with that being said, we'll go ahead. We'll get right into it. Colston Loveland, first round pick, tight end from Michigan. I won't lie. I'll be honest. At the moment he was picked, I was not happy. Right. I had bought into all of the media reports, the news about how the Bears were super interested in Ashton Genty. And so sitting there watching Genty available at 6 and reading the reports that day that the Bears were, ready to trade up, I was expecting Ashton Genty to be a Bear, and when the Raiders picked him, I was pretty upset. And then, after Genty was gone, I wanted Calvin Banks Jr. Because, you know, Braxton Jones, I think, is sufficient enough at left tackle, but the problem is he's not on the field for the entire season ever. And so I thought that, there's a chance that we can upgrade there and really solidify the line for good. He goes, I think, a pick before us, and so then we're at 10, and I'm expecting Tyler Warren. Everyone's hyped him up. He's the best tight end. And then I see it's Colston Loveland. And, obviously in the moment, I'm kind of shocked. I'm not necessarily the most thrilled with how everything has played out so far, but as I did more research and dove into this pick more, I realized that this is a Ben Johnson pick. He has his mitts all over this pick. This is a guy that can block. This is a guy that um, is closer to a receiver than more of like a traditional tight end. And what do I mean by that? I mean, this is a prolific route runner for his position. He can get open. He is a very, very good route runner. It's not like certain tight ends where you have to kind of scheme them open, right? Like Cole Kmet is a guy that kind of has to be schemed open somewhat, right? Like he's not going to take the ankles of a defensive back or a lineman necessarily, right? He has and he can, but that's not the peak of his game, right? Cole's really about size and boxing guys out and doing things like that. Loveland is a guy that there might be snaps this season where Kmet is on the field and Loveland is lined up as a wide receiver, right? That's just his skill set. And so I think that this is going to be a very good pick. Obviously, we needed another tight end. And we saw this with Ben Johnson in Detroit, right? Nobody thought that TJ Hawkinson was going to be traded, right? No one thought that. And then comes Sam Laporta. And so is the door open for Cole Kmet to potentially be on the move? It would piss me off greatly, but I'm partially ready for that to happen, just because it could. Now, obviously, with Colston Loveland, he had surgery in January, I believe, on his shoulder, so we're going to have to see how that works. They say he should be ready for training camp, but, we'll see. But as I've, dove into this pick a little bit more, Ben Johnson, we know, loves a ton of, 12 formation, 12 personnel with the two tight ends. This is a pick that should work out and I think should be very good, despite me not being a huge fan of it at the start. Next pick in the draft was Luther Burden, receiver from Missouri. This was the final pick from the 2023 trade with Bryce Young. It's crazy to me that this is still going, right? Now it's done, but Luther Burden, wide receiver. Again, this was a pick that I thought was very good in the moment. Like, I was upset, but I knew that it was a good pick because Luther Burden was projected to be a first-round pick by many people. So the fact that we're getting him at pick 39 in the second round is impressive. But at this point, I'm wanting running back, right? At this point, I'm wanting Travion Henderson, and he goes the pick before to New England. And so I'm kind of frustrated. I think that we really need a running back to pair with DeAndre Swift. But they decided to go receiver, which I'm fine with. We needed another receiver. Obviously, we signed Alameda Zacchaeus from Washington, but, it's clear Keenan Allen's not coming back. Ben Johnson clearly doesn't want, a veteran receiver like that. And so getting a guy like Luther Burden who is big-bodied, who can make the contested catches, but is also really, really good making plays after the catch, getting extra yards, very similar to DJ Moore. It's another weapon for Caleb Williams. And at the end of the day, whether or not I thought they should have gone running back here, potentially should have traded up a spot or two for Travion Henderson, I'm never going to complain when we're getting more weapons for Caleb Williams. We can never have enough weapons. We can never have enough receivers because, as much as I hope all of our players get through the season injury-free, that's just not the case. And I think that Luther Burden is going to be a very, very positive impact player for this team. I think he's going to have a big impact. I think he's going to be a great receiver for the team. So very excited to have him, and pretty dope. Pick 56, round 2, Ozzie Trapilo, the tackle from Boston College. I like this pick. He's massive. No penalties last year, which was... It's great, and I listened to his interview after he got drafted. He focuses really on being a disciplined player. They were saying on the NFL Network when he was drafted that this kid could be a day one starter at right tackle. Obviously, we have Darnell Wright, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Is this kind of going to be a developmental piece? Are they going to potentially try him at left tackle? Are they even going to move Darnell Wright to left tackle? Who knows? But getting another offensive lineman here, very, very happy with that. I really wanted this draft to be trenches and running back. Really, really happy that we got an offensive lineman again. And, with Braxton Jones' injury and with kind of just how the injury luck on the offensive line has been over the past few years, another piece to have is always great. I will never be upset with that. So very happy. And then another round 2 pick, Shamar Turner, defensive tackle, Texas A&M. I like this pick. 3 technique. This kid is going to be a rotational piece early in the year, and then he might be the starter. By the midway point of the season, this guy is dominant. He's taken snaps at all 5 defensive line positions through college over the last 4 years, so he has experience in each position. This is a guy that's going to come in and is going to help this team. He's going to be able to move around, do different things, come in on third downs, come in on second downs, help stop the run, do things like that. I think this is going to be a great piece. I'm really, really excited that we got a big 3 technique because I think we still have Andrew Billings on the team. Correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously he missed pretty much all of last season, and so having another guy in here that can get in there, be that big run stopper, and just kind of pressure from the interior line is something that really makes me happy. Another guy in the trenches. It's a great pick, and really, really happy with that. 4th round pick, obviously the Bears traded up again in the 2nd, then we didn't have anything in the 3rd. Ruben Hypolite, linebacker from Maryland. I don't have a ton to say about this pick. I think that this is going to be a solid depth piece for now. Obviously with Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, I don't think he's going to be starting, but very, very fast 4.4 240 time. There's going to be, he's going to be seeing some snaps, and I think he's going to be able to have an impact. And, when you have a linebacker with that type of speed, it's always very nice to have. And, the Bears lost Jack Sanborn this offseason, a decision that confused me, to be honest, because it felt like every single time Jack Sanborn was on the field, he was making ridiculous plays for us. But potentially, this could be a replacement for that. He can come in, make some plays when he's on the field with his speed, his tracking, and his size. So I like that pick, and it'd be interesting to see how that one plays out. Round 5, Za Frazier, cornerback, UTSA. Good pick, right? I think that this is a position where there will be competition this year, right? I think that with all of the Tyreek Stevenson antics last year, the cornerback position, I don't want to say it's wide open, but the door is open, right? Now, Za Frazier's a little bit of an older pick, right? He turns 25 in October, but he's got experience, played in college, obviously, and another defensive back. And, if Tyreek Stevenson were to have similar issues to last season, or he just isn't performing that well, maybe taking practice seriously or whatever, this could open the door for Frazier to come in and take that cornerback spot. So, it's a position that I didn't really think we would be drafting in this draft, but competition is good, and some of these guys need to have a fire lit under their ass to go in there and take practice seriously every day and do their best. And so I think that this is a good pick. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we're in the 5th round, so the likelihood of these guys becoming stars is starting to drop off. But never going to downplay anyone's ability when they just got drafted, right? Let's see how he performs in the preseason. Let's see how he plays on the field, and we'll go from there. This kid could end up being our cornerback for a long time. Pick 195, Luke Newman, offensive lineman from Michigan State. Another offensive lineman, started all games in 2024, so he's healthy. More depth, I like it. Don't have a ton to say on this pick, but trenches, build them up, have depth, have guys that can come in and play, have guys that can come in and play on special teams, and that can come and benefit the team, and really bring the best out, and learn from some of the veterans that we have on the offensive line now, like Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson. So I like it. And then the final pick of the draft, pick 233 from Cincinnati, Kyle Monangai, running back from Rutgers. I like this pick. Running back, I like it. Running back to me is the position that you could really land a star from any round. Just kind of, just depends, right? I think that with the upgrades that we've had to the offensive line, this is a guy that can come in, get some snaps in the season, make an impact, and, if he performs well, who knows what can happen, right? But overall, with this draft from the Bears, I like it. I would have liked a running back earlier, 2nd or 3rd round, but I think that the team got better, more weapons for Caleb Williams, obviously with Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. The upgraded offensive line, Caleb Williams, I have full faith in you. I think this is going to be a really fun season for the Bears. Let me know what you guys think down below. Did this draft go the way you wanted it to? Did it not? Is there a position that we missed? If there was a position that I really wish we could have hit, it would have been edge rusher. I know that we signed Dio Odebingo, and we got Montez Sweat, but Montez Sweat was pretty underwhelming last year. And so, if I'm Ryan Poles right now, I'm on the phone for Trey Hendrickson, because Cincinnati drafted an edge in the 1st round. I'm on the phone for Trey Hendrickson. I'm willing to give up next year's 1st for him, pay him money. We got the cap space. And, that would be a really, really fantastic player to have on the team. Chances of that happening are very unlikely, but that's what I would be doing. Let me know what you guys think. Is there any other offseason moves you would make? I see some people floating out trading for Breece Hall. I wouldn't really like that. I saw today the Bears are going to be meeting with Nick Chubb. Very good running back when he's healthy, but has had some serious injuries over the past couple of years. But if they were able to sign him for relatively cheap, I'd be happy with that. And that's it. I appreciate you guys as always. I will see you guys in the next video. If you're new here, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. Really helps me grow the channel. Bear down. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.